Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Montre, and I want to talk about education and the college changes that Obama's trying to do. Do you think that free education can be a bad thing? Let's talk about it. Okay, actually, I'm recording this before the State of the Union. I know President Obama is actually probably going to talk about education and where education is going. So I wanted to just kind of discuss, in my mind, kind of the changes I've been seeing and whether I think that if free education can be beneficial for our country or not. For those who haven't heard, Obama wants to provide the first 2 years of college for free, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. So for people who want to go back to school or get some retraining, or kids who want to get some of them basic courses out of the way, you can go to a community college and get 2 years of college free as long as you keep your grades up. And for some, that would be an associate's degree, and associates is a pretty basic college education, so it would give a lot of people opportunities that they probably wouldn't have if they just had a basic high school diploma or a GED. And that tends to be the problem right now with a vast majority of young people in today's time, because they can't afford college. So they end up just going into the working world directly or doing something else. And that's just what I've been noticing with a lot of young people, is that they're just skipping college altogether. Also, what I want to, I know a lot about astrology, and I just want to just throw this little nugget out there. Saturn has moved into Sagittarius for the next about 2 years. For the next 2 years, 2.5 years maybe. And Saturn, the planet Saturn in astrology represents hard work or restructuring things. That's what Saturn represents mostly. Restructure, structure. And Sagittarius rules over philosophy, higher education, religion. And so when Saturn moves into this area of life for everybody, we will probably see a lot of changes with the education system. We'll see challenges with people and what they believe to be true, especially when it comes to religion and philosophy. So if you're Christian, or if you're atheist, or if you're just a new ager, I think a lot of people will start to challenge their own beliefs and challenge other people's beliefs as we question what is really real and what do we need to believe and what we don't need to believe in. So Saturn is going to present these issues to us. Saturn just came out of Scorpio, which kind of dealt with more so sexuality, and we saw a lot of issues when it came to sexuality and marriage equality in the past 2 years. And Saturn is kind of moving out of that sector, moving into Sagittarius, which is going to deal with a lot of education. So I've already said it before, because the last time Saturn was in this area was about 30 years ago. And this was a time that we had young people in the world like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Mostly Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was around college around that time. And Steve Jobs decided he wasn't going to go to college and ended up starting his own business. And a lot of people did that in the 80s, where they skipped college altogether, started their own businesses, and still became successful. So are we going to see a repeat of that? Are we going to see a lot of young people decide to become entrepreneurs? Or are we going to see a restructuring of the education system totally? What's the most negative thing, or what are the cons when it comes to free education? Well, the only negative thing I can see is that who's going to pay for it? So, of course, Obama's already said about raising the taxes for rich people or people who make over a certain income, and I know already that they are not going to like that. So a lot of people who own businesses, the top heavy hitters, the billionaires, are not going to want to pay for education. And if it does pass and they end up getting their taxes raised, what's going to happen? We may see a a negative come out of this, because these are the people that own businesses. And if you get everybody who has an associate's degree or more people with degrees, means that they're going to raise the standard of what you need to actually get a job. So if everybody has this degree, then you won't need that degree anymore. You're going to need a master's degree to get this job, or you're going to need this. So usually that's what I see when everybody has the same credentials. They use degrees mostly like a filter system to keep people out, or keep certain people out. And that's a whole topic by itself, on the use of degrees as a criteria for jobs versus experience. So that's the only negative thing I can see about it. Give me your opinion on what you think about free education. Would you take the opportunity to get a free education? What would you get education in? Would you get some relearning and something, or do you think it's a bad thing? Give me your 2 cents, because if you don't do it, then who will? See you guys later.